Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by Jennifer C. at HomeLifeCultureLink.com, Nino Simeka at MortgageGodfather.ca, and Jewelry Forever at JewelryForever.ca. Enjoy the show.
Broadcasting live from Glenmore Record Studios in Toronto, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, your Sunday morning talk show with interesting guests, live musical performances, and the most fun you can fit in your coffee cup. Hosted by Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
She's beauty and she's grace. She's I should have looked up the lyrics to what that is. What's that song that they sing in the Miss Congeniality movie?
For one, you got the tempo wrong. You got the beat wrong.
So what you're saying is I got everything wrong.
Rewind, let's try again.
Although the thing is, even if I do that, it's not gonna be any different.
No.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to episode. Hey, Regine, isn't this 1, 2, 3? Welcome, everybody, to episode 1, 2, 3 of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, and I'm your host, Scott Dion Brown. Look at this frothy, delicious latte. Milk foam, it just makes your morning a delight, you know? It's just a wonderful thing. Hello, Romina Dasig. Good morning. Welcome to the show. All you guys tuning in. Hi there, hi there, hi there. I see you guys popping in. Good morning, and I'm joined, of course, as always, by the greatest co-host in the galaxy. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only,
Regine Alaina. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy 1, 2, 3, Scott.
Happy 1, 2, 3. How are you doing, Regine?
I'm good. I do have to have a word with you, actually. I was watching an event that I know we're going to talk about later today, but you use the exact same music that you use on the sit down.
I used a few things from the sit down.
I could tell. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny how... Okay, yeah, so first of all, what we're talking about. So, I'm exhausted today, by the way. I am very, very sleepy because last night I co-hosted with Kate D the Canada's Top Choice Pageant 2020, the virtual pageant experience. And it was a long night, but not only was it a long night, it was a really, really long week in preparation for this event. Because let's just say I vastly, vastly underestimated just how much preparation there is in preparing a virtual pageant, you know? Like, I mean, how many times have we've hosted this event together, not virtually, but we've hosted this event, right? And I've hosted it. How many times have I hosted it? 4 or 5? I don't even know.
The pageant happened in 2015. You have emceed everything but one. So you do the math, because I'm not good at math.
2015 it started, so
yeah.
five. But there was one year I missed. I thought I missed a year.
You did. I said every year but one.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. So I've done it many times, right? But virtually, there's just a lot more. You know, in previous ones, it's like, you know, you show up, you go over the script. You kind of there's not much for me to do until the day of, really, right? Because, you know, all of the candidates and stuff are preparing all their stuff at home and all that business. So, but this one, there was just a lot more involved. It was it was a lot.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
No, it's because, you know, you did a lot considering you're used to hosting and renting lights. for this specific pageant. But this time you were running the stream, you were emceeing, you were making sure that the videos are all correct because it was video submissions. So you were doing a lot more than anyone else, to be completely honest. So I put this in the comments yesterday, but I think Scott deserves a crown for this. Like, you are the true MVP for the entire pageant, which is why you're exhausted. So have that for me coffee.
I do deserve a crown. How come the boys don't get a crown anyway? Do other male pageants, do they get a crown? So the boys never get a crown?
Not all of them. Most of them, they usually just get the sash.
What kind of world are we living in?
Excuse me? Wait. Are you really going to complain that a man does not get a crown because women get it? Dude, come down.
Yes.
Come down.
Men want crowns. Who doesn't want to wear a crown?
Everything else.
So we don't get crowns?
Exactly. Unless there's equality for women, men are not getting crowns. I'm just putting it that way. End of conversation.
I mean,
I
guess I can agree. I mean, but if we want equality, then shouldn't we both get crowns?
Crowns are the last thing men are gonna get.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get it. So we will shift to male pageants allowing crowns when we have achieved proper equality across the world.
And then Scott, you'll get yours.
Fine. Whoever decides these things, send it in the mail whenever that happens. Anyways.
You just got really heated. We're tired, okay? I watched it.
But I like it. Yeah, that's right. Regine was there on that as well in the audience. And you know what? Our next guest, let's bring her in because, you know, I could talk and probably will at length about last night. But this person who we've got on today, she was there. She was right in there too with us. Mm-hmm. You know, so let's bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this morning is also very tired. And because she was one of the finalists last night, she's also an artist, an animator, and she's now the newly crowned Miss Teen Canada's Top Choice 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tyra.
Hello, everyone.
Congratulations, Tyra. Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you.
I was watching the pageant, and to be completely honest, I was a pageant sister from backstage. I was like, that's my roomie. Oh my god, she won.
Yay.
So backstory for those who don't know, Tyra competed back in 2019 when I was her pageant coach, and then together we did Galaxy. She was my roommate. So when she won last night, you can only imagine the emotions that I was going through. So congrats, Tyra.
Thank you. I'm
So how are you
super
feeling?
happy.
Awesome.
I'm very happy. It was a lot different this year just because of everything being online, but nonetheless, they did a great job in terms of choreographing the dances, like organizing, especially Scott for taking like all of the responsibility over like different editing and then live editing. Like you also had to like make like the banners live in the moment.
His clapping,
clapping,
them checking all that.
being calm during different problems. So yes, good on you.
Thank you. Yeah, there were a lot of technical things that we had to figure out on the way. So in fact, well, before we get into that, because I feel like I can just start going if we start talking about it, because I'm just thinking about all the things that happened yesterday. But I'm very curious. So yeah, you've competed in other pageants. This is your first virtual pageant. Now, first thinking about it, obviously in the moment on an actual pageant when you're backstage and stuff, I feel like obviously there are nerves and there's a lot of everything must come down to this moment, and there's a lot for you guys to worry about when you walk out onto the stage, right? But the virtual pageant, it's different because you're kind of doing a lot of that stuff in advance. So like so how does it? I'm just curious. What's your mindset last night, and where let's go with that. How does last night compare to other pageants you competed in?
So with last night, I think because I find I tend to feed off of the environment a lot.
Mhm.
So having a stage and lights and people running backstage trying to get ready, I don't know, it just pumps me up, and I get more confidence in terms of walking on stage, and it just increases over the time that we're like running. But last night, having it all online, I was mainly freaking out about tech issues because we weren't too sure what was happening. Because with my computer, for some reason I couldn't see myself, so I tried using my brother's computer, but like for some reason his audio didn't work. So it was like really hectic.
Did that running around get you all hyped up though?
Yeah, and so it was different. Yeah, so that part got me hyped up, but there was parts where I was kind of just. It wasn't like I had to change outfits like constantly. So I found myself like sitting, and then I would start getting really comfy, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta, be able to present myself and like keep up that smile and stuff, so that I'm ready for when I do get called on. So.
But you know what? Your posture last night was on point. Like, I was sitting in front of the computer, I was just lounging, and the minute I saw you, I was like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Yeah, we the event, we had some technical issues. In fact, the thing is, like, I even mentioned it. Yeah, some, just a couple. Well, I mean, it was only some, but it was consistent, and we had to deal with it all night long. So it was like two things.
Mhm.
Right? But like the first one we had to deal with, so what we used the same software we're using right now, which is, you can see if everybody talking, like,
Hi.
look, we look smooth and we're talking and everything. Oh, that's the thing. So when Jennifer approached me about doing the pageant virtually, right? She's like, yeah, do you think you can do that? And I was like, yeah. Like, I live stream like 6 days a week, we do a podcast. We know how to do this stuff, and I've hosted the pageant before. Oh, yeah, like, definitely can do it.
You overestimated yourself.
Well, it's not even that. What I did was, like, I think it went flow-wise, it was what we thought it would be.
Mhm.
But what I didn't underestimate was how much more, one, preparation, but on the actual night. So right now, for example, there are 3 of us in this lobby, right? And it's running nice and smooth. What I didn't anticipate is how very quickly the numbers climbed, and suddenly the lag started to kick in. And I actually think so. People who were watching the pageant last night, you'll notice now, or if you go to the Canada's Top Choice YouTube channel, you'll see that there are 3 videos. There's Canada's Top Choice Pageant 2020 part 1, 2, and 3, because the audio just stopped working, just stopped. And what was most frustrating was it stopped working, but there was no sign on our end that it wasn't. Like, I could still hear, we were still connected. I could speak to everybody in the lobby. We could all talk to each other. The music on our end was still playing. Everything was working, except for whatever reason, it wasn't going out to the feed. So don't know what caused it.
I have a thought on, or what's the word I'm looking for? I have a theory on what happened last night for part 2.
Uh-huh.
So part 2 is when the crownings were starting to happen, and Tyra had recently been crowned, and everyone was going wild in the chats, and Tyra broke the internet.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I did.
Tyra broke
That's
the
what happened,
internet.
people.
That's what happened. I was watching it, I was like,
So
oh, there it
sorry,
goes.
That's what I said. Too many emojis coming through. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah.
But you know what? Regardless of what happened yesterday on the tech side, considering that you did do it live and you did do it virtually, like a virtually live pageant, most virtual pageants is just a lot of pre-recording, mesh it together, put it on. What you guys did was you did a little bit of everything. And so considering that versus what other pageants have done in the past, you did really well.
So what you're saying is last night was the greatest virtual pageant that has ever been created.
Sure.
Nice. No, it was good. It was good. It was just, basically I think what we underestimated was the sheer number of people. And I've learned a bunch of things. Like, I don't know if I'll be doing another virtual event like this again. Yeah, but the thing is, it's interesting because like there's a part of me that like wants to, because I want to be like, okay, now I see what we did wrong, what we fixed.
So
what
reach
we
out
could
to
done
other
better.
pageants that you've been a part of and be like, hey, are you planning on doing a virtual pageant this year? I got you.
Yeah.
Put it on your
Because-
resume.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Because I would do it. Because I mean, the thing is, it is exactly like doing a live stream. They're just more involved. Because we had up to at one point. In fact, here's the thing. So originally, we were going to do the question and answer live. That was the plan originally. We were going to do it live, and then we did a little rehearsal. We're giving you guys a little behind the curtain look at it. But we were doing a rehearsal. Which what we did was we set up a private live stream so that only people who are there could watch it. And we just did a quick practice, kind of just a tech run, bring in each candidate. And I am glad now, because Jennifer was like, oh, it seems a little laggy, right? And at the time, I actually thought, well, it's probably fine. We can still do it like this. But I'm glad she was like, no, I think it's better if maybe we should just pre-record the question and answer. And looking back now, it was definitely the way to go. Because what I did find is it seemed to have get into trouble tech-wise when people were coming in and out. Like, I think it makes sense that it was during the awarding, because that was when we were getting like 3 people popping into the lobby. And then what also didn't help is so that's a little thing I've thought of is in the future, if I'm doing another one of these, so we had the judges on stream basically the whole time, so we could cut to them and look at them when we want.
You didn't
But,
really go to them though.
Yeah, we didn't need to, but because of that, it's like, so basically for the entire show, we had like an additional 5 people just live feeds coming in. So anyways, we learned stuff.
Well, regardless of what happened, Tyra, congratulations, you won.
Yes.
I do have a question for you, Tyra. So last week we actually had a guest who is very special to you, who is your mom. Back in 2019, when we were, closer to the final night, both your mom and yourself were finalists. Your mom won that year. This year, you won. Did she just give you her crown as like,
Yeah,
while
it
you
was
waited to get yours?
switcheroo. Yeah, just completely. There you go. And I have the crown now.
Amazing. Well, how was that feeling for the two of you? Because, your mom was doing her final walk. You're now doing your first walk. It must have been exciting in your house.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because there was that, I guess that lag between the different rooms. so at least I had my mic on, but I don't know, I can't exactly remember. It's kind of hazy already, like that short-term memory, but like, I just remember it being kind of delayed, and then after she heard, who, like the first runner-up was, like the girls were great. They, like, I congratulate them both for the places that they got. I'm so happy for them. And sorry, my cat is getting into the plants. It's really distracting me.
It's okay. Welcome to live show.
Yeah. So, but basically there was that kind of lag, and so basically by the time I finished saying like thank you for like the award, and like that it was an honor, and I'm so happy about it. Basically, my mom just heard that she came in first, like runner up, and then she was like, oh, congratulations. So it was like you're just like in the other room.
I love that. Well, your mom's in the chat right now. She at first said, no, not my crown. And now says, love you, T. You can have my crown anytime.
She's not giving up that crown.
She's not.
Don't worry, like we said, it will be delivered. I don't know by who. I don't know how. No contact.
He's like, but it's not me.
No contact. I mean, I'm not sure how they're planning to do it. I don't know.
Well,
It's another
Tyra,
challenge.
you mentioned earlier the other girls. So congrats to all of the girls who competed. There was 4 categories last night. There's a junior miss, the Miss Teen, Miss, and Ms. And there are now 4 queens for 2020. So congrats to all of them. I believe it was Emmy, Junior Miss Canada Top Choice 2020, Tyra as Miss Teen, Milicia was the Miss Canada Top Choice 2020, and her sister, Chanel was the Ms. winner last night. So congratulations to all of you ladies.
Yes, the crowns will be mailed to you all. What was it like? What was it like doing like a gown walk in what I guess is that like your living room? I guess. Like, how does that? What is it like doing that? Like, is it the kind of thing where did you do like a whole bunch of takes? Like, what did you do? How did you prepare? What did it feel like? Did it feel awkward? What was it like?
So for the gown walk, that one was done down in the lobby area. I live in an apartment building,
Okay.
so we waited for like a very late time because most of the people go to bed late, wake up fairly early in the morning. So you're looking at like maybe 2-3 o'clock or so. We went down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and we just filmed there. So because it was a much larger space than we have. Yeah. So, but it was kind of nice because they kind of decorated the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they decided to keep up the Christmas tree and then just decorate it, I guess, to bring up the mood. So usually it's down by now, but this year they decided to put stuff on for Valentine's Day. Currently there's stuff on it for St. Patrick's Day. So it's very green down there.
Yeah, I know. So there is. Yeah, that's right. There's a giant Christmas tree.
It's a Valentine's tree.
It's a Valentine's tree. Oh, that's nice actually. That's a nice thing to just.
A lot of people have done that. Like they cap. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Scott. They cap their Christmas tree up and have just decorated throughout the year because Christmas decorations bring so much joy into people's lives. They're like, we're at home all day. Why not just keep decorating it? So.
I remember my dad happened to see it and he's like, why do you guys have a Christmas tree up? Like it's almost like spring again.
Like, it was pre-recorded, Dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, do they plan to leave it up like basically all year? How do they know?
I'm not entirely sure when they plan on taking it down. Maybe they might decorate it for Easter.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool idea. Yeah, to lift people's spirits through these trying times.
Exactly.
So wait, Tyra, did you do your swimwear downstairs or in your apartment?
No, that one was in my apartment.
I was gonna say, whoa.
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. Yeah, that's right. It looked like you were more in a hallway. I think you were in a hallway.
That was actually the front of my house. So, like, where I had that little walk-off section was like the small hallway to like the front door, and then that was like the front entrance of our house. You have like the closet on the side. So we just had to take out parts of like furniture and stuff from there to clear out a large space for me to have the room to walk around.
That's awesome.
So it turned out okay. So that was pretty easy. It wasn't too hard shifting things, except one of the dressers was very, very heavy.
You got your pre-workout before your swimwear. That's nice.
Exactly.
That was worth it. You got the win. You brought home the win. So it all paid off. So how did it go? I mean, you know what it sounds like, what you're describing? It sounds a lot like for acting, I have to do self-tape auditions. So, you know, you kind of have to rearrange things depending on what you got to do and you get everything ready. So what was it? What would it actually feel like as you were doing it? So did you have to put it yourself in a mindset? Did you imagine yourself in front of an audience? What was going through your mind? Like, how did you prepare for the actual getting into doing it?
So while I was down, especially for like the gown, when I was down in the lobby, I was trying to imagine myself in front of an audience because, like as I said before, like I kind of feed off of that environment. So I was trying to imagine, like, okay, I'm on a stage, there's lights, trying to walk and like do my poses, and just as he told, like, good enough, do it again. I'm like, do it again, or like maybe I like do a little trip or a little hiccup or something like that, because parts of like the tile weren't consistent. So yeah, but basically it was mainly just thinking where I am. I had like small earbud in my ear for like the tempo of which I should.
Oh,
smart.
That's cool.
I think Jennifer provided a song, I believe, that was quasi had the same tempo as all the other ones, so it gave you like a gist of what to expect in terms of like you walk and the pace that you should.
Yeah, actually, that's true. I think if I'm remembering right, because as I was editing them all, I believe most people had the same song playing in the background, so she probably sent it to all of them.
Yeah.
Interestingly, she didn't send me that song. But I tried to minimize, like, we had copyrighted music playing throughout because people use it for various parts of their thing, and obviously the opening number was but for the most part I went with copyright free music for most of it, just because I was a little bit concerned in terms of copyright claims and stuff. But I tried to pick music that was like in the mood of it, and also copyright.
Also, I want to say, Tyra, I loved your gown last night.
Thank you. I don't know where I got it.
It's just so pretty.
Oh,
Thank
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is the dress that I wore was Regine's dress. So thank you so much for providing me with that. I don't think I have another dress that I will.
No, honestly, when I saw you put it on for the last pageant that you did, I was like, oh my god, this looks so good on her. So when your mom reached out to me, I'm like, yes, just borrow it. It's fine, no problem. I think it was supposed to be for a backup just in case you were going to do a different pageant.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you ended up wearing it last night. Because, girl, green is your color.
Thank you. It matches my eyes. I have slightly green eyes, so. Yeah, but yeah, it's very sparkly. I love the back. It's just like nicely open. So like, I think it's like really nice and it's like nicely fitting. It wasn't like loose in weird areas, so it was very comfortable.
It looks really good on you. But I do want to know, so I know for previous pageants, there's always, for your previous pageant experience, you know, you had the weekly training sessions, you were with all the girls all the time. How was it preparing virtually? Because I know a lot of it was practiced through Zoom.
Yes. So Kate was really good with organizing. Kate and Jennifer were both really good with organizing these times slots. Like every Saturday we'd meet up, and then I think maybe there was a few extra ones here and there that people asked for, and then Kate would host. And so basically I'd set up where I am now. Facing like this way because it's kind of more like a hallway stretch, and we first started off walking and figuring out our walk, and then after that it more moved on to the choreography for the opening dance, which was actually very well choreographed. At first, like it was difficult because some of them were a little odd to me, like. You know, obviously I'm not used to them. And then finally I got used to them. I'm like, oh, this is actually quite like a simple yet fast. Like it was very nicely like medium kind of dance. Like so it was challenging, but at the same time it was doable. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, the opening number, that was it turned out good. I feel like it must have been weird to there must have been a lot of logistical issues getting it all together, getting everybody to learn it. Yeah. And but it was I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, that was what I think I spent the most time on in terms of editing it, because I had to.
Yeah, it looked really good. I liked it. Yeah, I like how they're all like they had their own panel and stuff. Like I wasn't too sure how it was gonna look in the end, and like it turned out completely different from how I would have edited it, which would be just simple cut and paste.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened with that was, so Kate had broken down. She sent me, I guess, basically, in fact, what she had the song. She sent me a video that has the song playing, and then she just had some images on her screen of just like boxes. And what she had done is she had split up the time. So she'd be like, okay, from this point to this point, we'll see the teens, and we'll see, right? So she had done that, and then she had a couple. Then they had areas in the middle. It's like, okay, for the choruses, she wanted everybody, and then for some of these, she's like, oh, maybe some random stuff happening. So she kind of gave me kind of a general layout, and then left the rest for me. But that's the other thing I realized looking back, because I realized as I was editing, I'm like, this is kind of like I'm basically editing a music video right now, right? And I'm editing a video with like 11 different camera angles. So it's when I started realizing that I was like, oh, this is gonna take me a long time.
How long did it take you?
Okay, so I'm not sure total, but okay, yesterday I woke up and I started editing. I continued editing. I was about halfway through.
You started yesterday?
No, I continued editing the opening number at 10 a.m. I was like, I gotta finish it. I already put everything kind of in order, but I had to polish it and look pretty, and that was done by like 3. So that was like a solid 5 hours of editing.
Wow.
Just on the morning of. See, that's the other thing. Now looking back, I'm like, I wish we had like one more day, an extra day. But the problem is, I feel like because I didn't really realize how long things were going to take, if I had that extra day, I probably wouldn't have used it as efficiently as. And that's why, like Regine, so you'll notice like the music from the intro of the sit down was also in the music.
That's why I was like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar.
That wasn't probably what I would have done. But when we got down to the wire, when it was like,
You're like, I need music.
It's 6:49. Okay, wait, what do we need? And I was like, so I had to basically grab stuff. It was just interesting how as you get closer to the tire, like, okay, well, we can't do that. Okay, that's gonna have to be done on the fly. Okay, that will do like this, So, yeah, it was interesting.
What kind of editing software do you use?
I edit on Sony Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I know that most people use Premiere,
Yeah.
Adobe Premiere. The only reason I don't have Adobe Premiere is because when you buy it now, it's like you have to pay. Is it monthly or yearly? You have to like pay like a membership.
Extra, yeah.
Yeah, and then Sony. So at the time, like I was literally planning to upgrade. Like the first software I ever bought was Sony Vegas Movie Studio because it was cheap. It was like $100. It was like their basic version, except you can only have a max of 4 video tracks. And then when it came time that I want to upgrade, and I kind of looked at both, and Sony Vegas just had a deal at the time, and they were like, you could get their Pro Suite for like $300, and there's no fees or no yearly whatever.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I just dove in there and just went with that.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Yes. What's the thing? So as I'm talking about this stuff, because you're studying animation and you're into like the career, so you would know all about like how long things can take and
Yeah.
So Tyra, now with your new title, you realize if there's ever a virtual event again, Scott's gonna be like, "Hey Tyra,
Hey.
Tyra, there's an opening number.
here
I need
you
you to take
go.
some time.
Copy and paste as you wish."
See you in 12 hours. Yeah.
Oh no, she's doing that amount in 12 hours. So I
Yeah.
don't think I could. I mean, I have done like very basic stuff. So like my mom's farewell video, any of
is
the
great.
promotional videos.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, but that one's more simple because it's just like putting a bunch of pictures together. Like to make like a opening video like that, you have to like have the videos cut to a certain size, have them like panning across the whole time, and then fades in. So, sounds like a one.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with it, that's the issue with when I started thinking about what I was going to do, I was imagining how I'd do it, and it was fairly like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. But the thing is, I always make this mistake. Regine and I have been talking about it for weeks now, months, right? I've been trying to finish the second short film that I shot, and it's been years at this point, but my hope was to finish it by the end of February, but even little
What day
things
is it today?
take
It's
time. Well, now we're almost at the end of
21st
March.
of March.
But then again, this thing turned into a busy month. Like this last 2 weeks. This last 2 weeks specifically have turned into like some of the busiest 2 weeks ever.
Excuses.
Well, it was just rough. Oh, Jaylon Smith, hi. Welcome to the stream, Jaylon Smith. Hi. Yeah, it's just things become very complicated and they take long very quickly. And I feel like animation, that's almost the worst one in terms of like
So rude.
No, but I mean like animation is not something that you can like do quickly, right? I mean, I guess it depends what you're doing, but What sort of animation are you studying?
So, right now, my school is teaching you like just basically the fundamentals of drawing and stuff. So basically your anatomy, all of your techniques and stuff like that first. So I believe they do that for the first 2 years, and then the other 2 years you'll be working more on animation, 2D animation. I believe they also go into 3D animation and stop motion animation.
Wow.
So I did take a animation class in grade 12, and during that year, I did a lot of very fast sketching animations. So, like, you gotta sketch something and then make another one, and just I had them in, I believe, Photoshop. I did it in, and there's like a little animation section. And they just kind of really quick. So it wasn't like the most smoothest of animations, but it was it was getting there. We also did stop motion animation, which I did with like a little Hello Kitty set that I have
Cute.
when I was really young. And then now I'm learning to do digital modeling and fabrication. So making 3D models for different buildings, like kind of like architecture, and some different interior designs. So I can totally see that being used in the future for any type of 3D animation.
Cool.
So cool. So where do you where would you want to end up in terms of the world of animation? Do you want to work at Pixar, or do you have another idea in mind, or what would you be aiming for?
Probably like the very top would be working for something like Pixar, Illumination, or like DreamWorks, something like huge like that. But I'm not entirely sure where I would stand in terms of animation, because I am pretty much open to any type of entertainment section, so it doesn't exactly have to be animation. Like, as you know, like I like editing as well. I've done editing for this pageant in terms of like my promotional videos with mom, as well as doing like small editing things for some of my friends that like maybe stream or something, want to put something up on YouTube. I'll do like a quick
Tyra, I'm gonna
edit
talk
for
to you
them.
after this for pageant sit down.
Yay!
Sorry, Scott. You can do a moment.
No, I was thinking the same thing.
So editing. Yeah, and then any type of television broadcasting. So I did take a class, like for a dual credit class. So it was like half of a semester, and it was television broadcasting. So I was there, and I could be on the switcher board. I could be cameraman. I could do audio, and it was like we're hosting a live news channel. So any of that, I'm quasi experienced, and I'm totally up for going into somewhere in the future.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So-
So I have a
so-
bunch of doors open.
Yeah, that's good. So do you have, like, if someone said to you, okay, you have your choice, you pick the job you want, which one would you pick? Or would you just want to be involved in the industry on some capacity, but do you have a preference? Do you have a favorite?
I probably would say my favorite is doing live TV. So, like live like podcasts, live like newscasts and stuff, broadcasts like that. Because with animation, I do like it, but it's very tedious. And then again and again. It's probably easier with 3D, but you still have to create your character out of your 3D model, like, to basically perfection before you start moving it around and stuff. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I still have to learn that part. And then with movies, I don't know. With the movies and like TV shows that are like pre-recorded, there's less stress, but I think I kind of like having that stress and that go kind of like just always having to do something, kind of just getting on your toes. I think that's what I really like. So
Yeah, I know exactly. Well, I mean, I know exactly what you're feeling, what you're talking about, because I am the same in that. Like yesterday was I mean, it might be one of the most stressful days I've had in a while. Just because, like, okay, I'll put it like, so even like an hour leading up to the show, okay? So like I said, I've been working constantly. I woke up, I shoved some food in my mouth, and then I edited straight, finished the opening number. Then I had to like finish building like the frame works for things and like how we were going to transition from this to this. And then I still didn't have some people's videos. So I'm like, I need this video. I need you to send me this. Somebody send me. And then I'm like, wait, this one won't download. Send it again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, because you remember, I think I remember even Tyra earlier. We talked about, initially I said, everybody come into the room around 6 o'clock and we'll do like a soft tech run before. None of that happened because at 6 o'clock, I was still like...
Oh, at 6. I think my understanding for some reason was around 6:30, and then I looked at the schedule thing and it was like 6:15. I'm like, oh no, I gotta get on. I'm starting to freak out. But yeah,
it wouldn't. That's why it wouldn't have even mattered because I look in the lobby and I'm like, I see everybody there, and I'm like, I don't have time to talk to them right now. So but the thing is, there is a like what you just described. There's a rush. There's an enjoyment of like that pressure. I do get something out of that. There is something about, you know, getting down to the wire. Like we got there, we started the show maybe a minute or two after 7, maybe 5 minutes, fine. But we started it, and then there's just like that moment of like, even when the audio stopped working, or like we have to make instant moment changes. There's like an appeal. There's something that like you feel you're stressed, but you also feel good about doing it.
yeah.
Do you? Yeah. Is that something that maybe appeals to you for the live?
And then being able to like be flexible enough to like know what to do, and calm enough to like be able to see what's wrong, be able to handle that task, and like being able to execute it the way you still want to. That like it doesn't completely fall apart. So, and then especially afterwards, when all of it's done and I made it through, it's like, oh, like, you know, relax.
Well, I was watching it, so this is the first time that I was watching it in an audience perspective for a top choice, and I was like, oh, this is fun, just watching it, and then stuff started to happen in the audio, and I got secondhand stress, I think because I know how you are, Scott, so I was like, oh no, like I don't remember who I was talking to, but I'm like, why am I so stressed out? This isn't my gig.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what though? You know what was good though is that so one time, so Tyra, we were doing an episode of the Sit Down. This is before quarantine started, right? And we had at the time we were bringing on a guest that was like the most famous guest I think at that point we'd ever had, Nina Kiri, and she's like an actress on Handmaid's Tale. And so we had her on the show, and because she was at the time our most famous guest, I really hyped up myself. Like, I really got to make sure this is perfect. So I had like made sure I went to the studio in advance and set everything up. Like, I did a lot more work preparing than I normally would for an episode, right? And then on the day, I set everything up. So it's like, I just got to push one button and we're good. So we get her in, we're all sitting there. We start doing the show. And then
he pressed the one button.
I pushed the record button, but I didn't push the go live button. So we were doing the show for like 30 minutes, and then the live chat started being like, is the show starting soon? Like, where's the show? And I was like, what do you mean? The show's been going. So the thing is, so that happened, and I was really like embarrassed. I was like flustered because because I was embarrassed because I was like, we've got this famous guest, and I look like an idiot, right? So I was very embarrassed. But I did it affected my mood. Like, you watch that episode, you see like I'm completely different for the rest of the episode because I'm just kind of like shy and bashful or whatever. But last night was different in that things were going wrong, but I knew it wasn't because I was just I made a dumb mistake. It was just like the challenges of like doing something like this. So that's why I wasn't affected in the same way. I was more like, okay, what do we do? Okay, how do we fix this? Right?
See, my mind went to the Nina Kiri moment where I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, is he gonna be okay? Like, should I see if he's okay? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to bother you.
Yeah, but there's like a difference between the two of them. Because like one was like a tech issue that you had basically no control over because you couldn't. It wasn't happening on our end.
And
Yeah.
then the Nina Curie one, he just didn't.
There was, yeah.
And the,
Yeah, because you know what it is? It's like with that one, people can like look at, okay, so what caused this? And we're like, oh yeah, you know, it's tough. We were doing a lot of things. And the other one is like, so what caused this? We'll see that guy over there.
He
That guy's an idiot. Right? So that's the difference. That's the difference.
what happened to like the 30 minutes of footage? You just lose it?
No, so what we did, so that's the thing. Luckily, I had hit record. So at the time, I was in the habit of recording the show and then and also going live. Which nowadays we actually don't. I just live stream it out because I figure if I want it, I can download it off of YouTube afterwards if I want to. But at the time we were recording, so what I did was, as soon as the show ended, what we did was we stopped and then we started the show again. Except like we said to everybody, oh, we've been going for 30 minutes, and you know, Nina still has to leave in 30 minutes, so this is going to be a slightly shorter episode. And then what I did was after the stream was done, I took it down and then I re-uploaded the full episode. Just as its own video. So you still see the whole thing. But I don't know, I just have that feeling, you know, when you get embarrassed, like I started feeling all warm, like I felt all hot. You know that feeling where you're just like you can feel like everybody's judging you. And most of all, I'm judging myself. It was like that.
Because if you watch the episode, like Nina was very like, it's okay, Scott. Like she's bringing him back to like himself. But it was just.
Yeah.
Oh,
I tend to do it as well. I get that pressure. Like if something goes wrong and it's like on your end, it's just like you kind of just feel small.
And I was just there like, Scott, you forgot to press the stupid button.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's like, what it is that.
Job.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Because I try, you know, I try to be, you know, professional and like just like the guy who can handle things, you know. Yeah. And so when I just look like incompetent, or I feel like I look incompetent, it's that's I think where I feel the most like.
So the best part is I just realized this was my last episode before I went on vacation. So when I was in the Philippines, I was messaging you being like, don't forget to press the button.
Well, that's the thing. Now it's like we know like that's a mistake that it's impossible for us to ever make that mistake again.
For you to make that mistake.
Yeah.
We're gonna be double checking it, triple checking it, make sure everything's going.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, Zero, what's going on? Wee, woo, wee, woo. Hi, Scott. Hello, Zero. Welcome to the show. For you guys just tuning in, we're here with the newly crowned Miss Teen Canada's Top Choice 2020, Tyra. Oh, Regine, why don't we should do the ads and then we'll come back. I feel like we should do the ads because it's been a little while. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, today's incredible episode of The Sit Down was brought to you by some very, very important people. Wouldn't you say, Regine? Those people, of course, are our advertisers. Hey, Regine.
Yes, Scott.
Do you want to find out what your home is really worth?
Maybe.
Are you buying, selling, investing, or renting a home?
Possibly.
Well then, wow, your lucky day. Jennifer C., realtor at Home Life Culture Link, is here to help. Call or text Jennifer today at 647-403-8887. Don't deal with just anyone. Speak to a professional. Jennifer C. at Home Life Culture Link. To see her current listings, visit homelifeculturelink.com. The Mortgage Godfather is here to give you advice with any mortgage needs you may have. And he will shop to find you the best mortgage. Nino Saimeka, mortgage agent. He'll give you an offer you can't refuse. Regine. He'll give you an offer you can't refuse.
That cat meowed perfect timing.
It's part of it.
Did
He
you
planned
hear that?
That was part of it. That was his line, and he delivered it perfectly. Find out more at mortgagegodfather.ca or call 905-604-6955. Jewelry forever. Conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East Markham. They do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and change watch batteries, all done on site. And we've got an incredible deal worked out with them, don't we, Regine?
We do. If you guys go in there and let them know that Scott and Regine sent you, they'll give you 15% off your entire purchase.
That's right, 15% off, 15%. Mention the show. Tell them Scott and Regine sent you. Talk to Jerry. He is an artist when it comes to custom jewelry. He can make you whatever you envision. And a beautiful shop. So check it out and find out more at jewelryforever.ca. And it was brought to you by Deliciousness Treats.
Hot chocolate bombs, dipped Oreos, smash cakes, and more. We actually have a sale this week, so it's 15% off your entire 15%, your entire order of $20 or more. This includes our Easter chocolate egg smash. So if you want to give your friends and family an amazing Easter treat, hit us up at deliciousness_treats on Instagram or Deliciousness Treats on Facebook.
That's right, everybody. Deliciousness Treats. Sweet treats in a mug. And also
Question mark?
And also in egg form. Is that your new slogan?
Sure.
Sweet treats in a mug and also egg form. I'm glad. Do you like that I give you a new slogan every week, Regine?
I appreciate it.
Does this help with marketing? I'm not sure. Is it a consistent? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to advertise on the show, it's very easy, right, Regine?
It's simple. All you guys have to do is email us at radioshowad, that's radioshowad@gmail.com.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing opportunity for you to build a brand new relationship with a potential new client base. We do this show live every week, which means we do the ads live, which means you can personalize the ads week to week. Do you have an event, a sale, a specific something happening at a particular time and place? You let us know, and we let your potential client base know in real time. It's practically magic, everybody. I don't know how we do it, but we figured it out, and you can get in on this incredible opportunity. Radio show ad, radioshowad@gmail.com. And we're back.
That was a lot of energy. I did not want to jump in there.
You know what? You sometimes you just feel it and you just roll with it.
For all of
You know what it
those who are watching, sorry, you only hear Scott's voice, but Scott was like all into it when he was speaking.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's that, like I said, it's that feeling where you've when you're like really, really tired. There's that moment where you just feel a little bit
Cuckoo?
just kind of but also kind of just like whatever.
I think Scott's adrenaline level is still high from last night.
And also like the caffeine's just kicking in. It's just a perfect storm.
And
Ladies and
also,
oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say Tyra's cat wanted in on that action. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, if you noticed, I do believe that he made it in the show last night.
Really?
Oh.
I think so. Just before, during the Miss Teen crowning, he was in the background. And then
I'm
he
gonna
left.
rewatch that. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna go back to part 2 of Top Choice videos and go to towards the end and see if we can spot Tyra's cat. The first time there's a cat at a pageant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Canada's Top Choice Cat Pageant coming in 2021? Question mark?
Catwalk.
Oh yeah. Perfect. Look at that. It writes itself. Genius.
Tyra's new project as Miss Teen Canada's Top Choice.
There you go.
I mean, you know what the funny thing is? Even just saying it, people would watch a cat pageant.
I'm allergic,
They would.
so I wouldn't.
The internet loves the internet loves cat pageants. Well, the internet loves cats.
Yes. Oh, just having them in like some cute little robe
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you
Kind of
set
dragging
up.
behind them.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have to set up, because they make, the thing is, cats aren't like, you can dress up cats, right? Some
You
cats just
can. It
don't like
depends on the cat. Like my cat, if you dress him up, he'll sit and he won't move an inch. Whereas some cats will like do a nice strut and they'll roll
Yeah.
with it.
I guess your cat
Yeah.
doesn't like that extra material on him.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, so, some it's like once you put it on, they're like, "What? I don't know what this is. I don't know what's on me.
Take it
I'm
off.
just going to stay
They
here."
become paralyzed. Yeah, they just
Yeah,
sit there. They don't know what to do.
and it would be tough to. I mean, cats in general, you can't really train the way you can. Like, it would be tough to say, "Okay, I need you to walk to the end of this, runway." Like, you'd have to like make it like a hallway or something.
Trap them.
Maybe.
There'd be a lot of there'd be a lot of logistical issues. It's funny because now as we mention it, I'm like sitting here going, if I was doing a cat pageant, how would I run it? And I'm actually going, it's kind of not a bad idea.
It would probably be a lot of pre-recording just because you don't know what the cat's gonna do. So like a lot of I think that would probably be the best way to go at it because I can see like a live thing and the cat just scurries off somewhere totally not correct.
Yes. Yeah, you're right about that. I feel like it would become very quickly. I mean, there's an element of that would be entertaining, but it would be. I think it wouldn't be a pageant for very long. I think it would more become a
Comedy show.
I mean, I think a cat pageant in general is going to be fairly comedic anyway, but yes. Hey, Mike Brown. Oh, it's my dad. Hey, Dad. Good morning, kids. Hope you're having a great weekend.
Good
We are,
morning,
Dad.
Mr. Brown.
We are. Good morning. So for people just tuning in, we are here with the newly crowned Miss Teen Canada's Top Choice 2020. We've been talking about the experiences last night in the pageant, talking a little bit about film and animation. Do you think it's interesting to hear you say that you're drawn to the idea of doing live TV? Do you think kind of like that adrenaline rush, that enjoyment of, do you think that's probably what draws you to pageants a little bit as well, that being in the moment type thing?
Yeah, especially like when you're on stage. I think it's that adrenaline like is boosted, like skyrocketing. Right, because I actually did dancing for several years. I believe I started when I was 4 and I ended when I was 17. And so it's just a recent retirement from dance. But I think I always liked that presentation day, being on stage. Like it's I don't know if you like that. When you're on stage, there's like weirdly that air conditioning, but you're also like nervous, you're like really hot, right? At the same time. And then everyone's running, everyone's getting ready. When I was doing competition, it was like you gotta get into a new outfit, totally different hair, totally different makeup sometimes. And it's just all of that at once. It's just like go. And I think I've always kind of liked being more the presentation and when the actual finale. Like in terms of preparation, like I'll do it, like it, but it's nothing compared to like the actual final day. Yeah.
I guess, and also there's something about the possibility that it could all just go wrong. It could all just fall down, right? And it's almost like it's your job to make sure that it doesn't fall down, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sounds like you get that same yeah. It's a cool feeling because it feels kind of dangerous. It's fun.
Risky, but it's nothing too extreme. It's just
I mean, you know,
embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not life and death. It's just like, you
either you press the record and go live button or you don't.
Yeah. In fact, here's
gonna remind you of
well, that's the thing, but you know what? It worked. I mean, well, I won't say never, but it probably will never happen again. We will see. But actually, here's one thing I could ask you about, because so you grew up doing a lot of dance. Obviously, the pageants put you on stage. You know, you're in front of the people. You're kind of the performer, so to speak. But right now, you're doing a lot of studying stuff that would take you kind of more behind the scenes, behind the camera. So, do you do you think you prefer more being behind the scenes making things work, or would you be more interested in being, say, in front of the camera as well, or do you have a preference? Or yeah.
I probably, I guess it depends on what it is, but I think if it was like live TV, I'm not much of like an actress. If I was a newscast person, like telling everyone and reading off of the telescreen, I don't think I'm kind of bad at reading sometimes under pressure. So
Same.
like, yeah, so I think I prefer it behind stage, because I find myself when it comes to stuff like that, especially under pressure, I become more like I guess like a leader figure. So like if someone gives me the job of, you know, organizing and stuff like that, I'll be able to tell people like, hey, go do this, hey, do that, or whatever like that. But if my job is just to do something in the background, I'm totally fine with just being quiet, like, you know, getting the information from like the producer and then just applying that. So I can do either or job. But I think being in the background is like, in a way more stressful than being the actual performer.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, there are a lot more hats to wear. In fact, it's interesting because like when you're performing, you're on stage. If things go wrong, the audience might blame the performer because they're who they see, right? You
Yeah.
know, so, but a lot of the times, whether or not things, you know, look right or sound right or whatever it is, a lot of that falls on, you know, behind the scenes. Like I know, like for example, so for me, music wise, when I perform, I'm always very hesitant about if I'm going to perform live, whether or not it's going to be recorded and put somewhere. And it's because I know, like you watch like daytime television or something, they have live musicians on there sometimes. And so many times I've seen, you know, professional musicians, you know, famous people going on these shows, and you see the mix of the audio and it just doesn't sound, it sounds bad. And I think it's okay because the musicians are big enough and their fan base is there, they know what they're supposed to sound like. But I would be so concerned about, you know, I mean, it's amazing how just an incorrect mix can make what is otherwise a really, really solid performance sound completely, well, just bad. It's the right thing. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot more. And again, I mean, I guess that's why with this pageant, there was a huge difference because normally I'm the host, right? So yes, there's a lot of behind the scenes, like, you know, once I walk off stage, I'm backstage going, okay, we're going to have these three, you know, organizing some lines and stuff. But this time it was much more different because I was kind of also the guy who in the theater would have been in the tech booth and who would have been running, you know, all that stuff. I was kind of doing that as well. And yeah, there's a lot more involved. So anyway, to go back to your answer. So you... preference-wise, you're thinking you say you probably get more out of the behind the scenes because it's more on you, I guess.
Yeah, there's more stress, and obviously there's the responsibility is like evened out. Like even though you have presenters, they're still responsible for if something goes wrong backstage, they're supposed to still entertain people because that's the face that they see. But I actually had, like, when I was doing the television broadcasting class, I actually remember scrolling because I was doing the telemonitor, or I was scrolling teleprompter. There you go, thank you. And I was scrolling the script. And I accidentally clicked something and it made it go all the way to the beginning.
Oh no.
And yeah, so usually a host has that responsibility of being able to improvise during those types of situations because that's who people see. And even though it was my fault and responsibility, you still have the responsibility of the actual host. So I remember like the professor actually got kind of mad at like the person who was hosting at the time because they didn't know what to do, and they kind of kind of got mad at me, and so it wasn't really what you're supposed to do during a presentation. But I think I like being on that backside because there's the more running around, and I kind of like being able to know what's happening. And I feel like when you are that host, you sometimes don't know what's going on because like you might just get in the last minute you'll have like a person in the back say, okay, this you gotta like stretch the performance or like, you know, stuff like that. And I kind of like being able to know what's going on because even with my mom last night when you were pulling girls in to the call every once in a while, I was on her all the time like, okay, did Kate or Scott, anyone text you? Did someone tell you like when am I supposed to come in? Like I want to know what's happening behind stage. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I can totally see that. In fact, it's been time. In fact, Regine, we've been through it as well. What times when we've been hosting the event, but we're not running it. Especially there's that time period where, so all of the like the events, the categories have gone by. Now all that has to happen is they have to tabulate the scores and bring us the envelope.
And we're just there like
so many times we've hosted, and they're like, we need more time, right? Or like, okay, I think now we're supposed to get this thing handed to us.
Wasn't there an event where we had to kill so much time? I was like, Scott, you want to sing?
Yes, yeah. There was literally a time where I think they had budgeted like something like, I don't know, 2 performers were going to come up and sing, and then award time, right? And for whatever reason, the tabulators, I don't know what it was, but yeah, where we had to kill like, I don't know, half hour or something. So, and yeah, there is something about that when you're the host on stage. Like, I can't go into and the same thing if there's a tech issue where like, I know that the light's supposed to come up now, or this person starts, you know, and I can't go up there and be like, okay, so what's happening here? Because you can't. Instead, I'm just sort of alone on stage. I hope sometime the lights go down, you know. So.
It's like a different type of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'm more comfortable with like the backstage pressure. But like, it's not to say that I wouldn't be able to do the actual performing thing because I have done it before. It's just that I think I prefer being backstage.
Makes sense.
That's fine.
Well, you know what's also good then is because you've already had. Actually, it's very good in that you've had the on-stage experience. So because of that, you already, even if you do choose to go more exclusively to kind of the behind-the-scenes type person, because you've experienced what it's like being on the stage, I feel like it would actually, you would be able to know what it's like for that person, and I feel like that would actually really help your job backstage.
Yeah. Also kind of like relieving a little bit more stress on the actual person that's there, so you don't like harp on them like what to do and like, you know.
Yeah, because you've walked in their shoes, so you know a little bit about it.
Well, Tyra, you mentioned earlier. Sorry, Scott, to cut you off again.
I was just finishing.
So Tyra, earlier you mentioned, you know, being on stage, in front of the stage. You talked about dance, but last night during your talent portion, I was so like certain that you were gonna go off and dance, but you actually sang. I didn't know you were a singer.
Yes, I am. My mom sings a lot, as we know from the 2019 pageant. She did singing for her talent. I decided maybe I could try singing as well. So it was that one probably took the most amount of prep. I'm more a performer when it comes to dancing, so I'm trying to work a lot more on my public speaking and like when it comes to talking in front of large audiences. And so singing is basically in that category. It's like the same thing. So, and I think actually in a way a little bit more challenging because now you're thinking about like, oh, you know, how the song is going, like you're singing, and I don't really know like much about music. I don't know my ranges. I'm very uneducated when it comes to music, but I still enjoy singing a lot. So it was a great bonding when it came to me and my mom, because my mom would give me a lot of advice, and then she'd also get some of her friends that also sang and like are more into that industry to help in singing. She also got my aunt to also help me as well, give me a few pointers for the singing. So it was just a lot of new information to me because they'd say stuff like, "Oh, you need to be, you're a little flat here," and I'm like, "What do you mean flat? Do you mean like I have to be louder, like more enthusiastic, or do you mean like my tone is flat?" Like I had no clue what they meant, and it was like different either way. I didn't really understand, but it worked out in the end, and it was
Sounded good.
a completely different experience.
Well, you
Yeah,
also
thank
chose
you.
to sing. You also chose to sing in multiple languages as
Yes,
well.
Mandarin.
So that was cool. How was that? Do you speak Mandarin?
No.
No. So what was it
Did
like?
you understand what you were singing?
I obviously was. I
Okay.
researched all of the. I researched all of the lyrics for it. I originally was planning on singing the entire thing in Mandarin, but my mom's friend had he made his own lyrics of it, so he translated it a little bit different. So that's why you have like the title of the song. I don't exactly say. I say something different because it translates a little bit better. So yeah. So it was less challenging because there was only a portion of it, but I think it was also represented me because being like half, you have like the English portion and then you have like that bit of Mandarin, even though my family speaks Cantonese. But so yeah.
Cool.
And you know what? I actually think in a lot of ways it actually. I think it actually. Weirdly, it almost looks more impressive. Whereas even though technically, yeah, it would have been harder if you sang the whole thing in Mandarin. I think from a performance perspective, and from the audience taking it in, it starts and they're like, "Oh, she's singing a song. Okay, this sounds nice." And then it's like then you give them something else, right? It's like, yeah, suddenly another language, and you go, "Whoa," So I feel like it kind of anyway, it worked out. It was a good strategy.
Yeah.
And you picked up Best in Talent as well, right? I think you did, right?
Pardon?
You picked up Best in Talent, I think.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I thought you said S in town. I was like, what is S? So I was really confused. But yeah, I did. So I'm proud of that too.
Tyra just picks up all of these awards and all the pageants that she does. Like she comes home with plaques every time.
It's good stuff.
Going up.
Yeah. So in terms of learning, I know. So I've sung a couple songs in Tagalog because I'm half Filipino myself. So I've sung a few songs in Tagalog, and yeah, I don't speak Tagalog. So I found what I would have to do is almost just listen to recordings or like sound it out kind of almost phonetically. And I did find it was more challenging to memorize because I don't know the exact words. I'm more sort of just memorizing sounds, right? And like, so if I'm learning like an English lyric, because I know what it means, it's easier for me to remember what it is. But because I'm basically just hearing sounds, it was an extra, right? So did you find some of that? Was there a challenge in that regard, like learning the Mandarin lyrics?
Yeah, it was mainly just memorizing sounds, and then there were like a few words that I've heard before, but obviously I didn't know what they meant. And then it was kind of pairing up like the English word to that word, so I'd understand like the meaning behind that this like what's going on in it, so I could actually portray those like emotions and express them instead of just sounding out words, because they mean something, right? So
yes, they're not just sounds.
They're not just sounds. So yeah, it was basically trying to train myself to understand the actual meaning behind those words and still be able to express it, even though I don't really understand them.
See, that's smart because, sorry, Scott, because
No, go ahead.
I learned, so I grew up always understanding Tagalog, but I never spoke it. But because of the music that I grew up listening to, the sounds that Scott hears, that's actually how I learned how to speak it, was by understanding the lyrics, knowing what the lyrics were, and then putting it into conversation. So Scott, maybe you should figure out what those sounds mean.
That's the
next challenge.
that would be what I would do. Yeah. I mean, did you get any did you get any feedback from Mandarin speakers where they like did you
it wrong.
Yeah, well, did you get any like, oh, that's right, or did you hear any? Oh, okay, I can kind of tell you have a bit of an accent there. Did you hear any of that?
Oh yeah, my aunt actually helped me a lot with that last minute, just trying to fix up some words here and there. And then I think even now she's helping me with a bit of the words because she was, oh, you're pronouncing this one, you have to like elongate this sound, or you have to change how you pronounce this sound. Like when I pronounce like R's, I tend not to like do a like. I think one of those was ru. Like I said, like I put my tongue at the top of my like mouth. It was like it didn't sound right to her. So she's like, you have to pronounce it more like this, and then this is supposed to go higher because you have the accents, right? So yeah. But
It's a whole learning curve.
a whole learning process.
Yeah.
But Scott, you did a great job on singing. I was very impressed last night.
Oh.
Aww.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Really
it's
good.
Jarius, not Darius.
Yeah, no, I knew
Oh,
it was
no.
Jarius. I knew it was Jarius. So that's the thing. Like, I started saying, so here's what happened. Like, I kind of explained on the thing, but I knew it was Jarius, right? But the rundown script that they sent me, right? It had Darius written there.
Oh.
And again, like I
Blame
said,
the people in the back. I got it.
well, but the thing is, but I would never blame somebody if it's my fault. But if it's not, it's not a big deal anyway. But the rundown had a D, and I would have caught that, but because, like I said, it was such a mad rush to get everything ready, so I kind of was just like, okay, and we got, okay, this video's going here, okay, and then I labeled it the same name that was written in the thing.
Oh no.
So that's why when we start scrolling around, and I've got all the scenes, in front of me on, the broadcasting software, and I'm looking for Jarius, and I'm like, I'm looking at J, right? There's nothing there, and I'm like, what the heck? Where is it? And then I look over at the rundown, and it's the D, and I was like, oh. So I'm like, so in that moment, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry, Darius. And then as soon as we start playing the thing, I'm looking at the chat. Everyone's like, actually, it's Jarius. And I was like, I knew it was Jarius.
See, the thing is, that when you said Jarius, I was like, oh, why do I feel like it's gonna be Jarius? And then all of a sudden he comes on the screen. I'm like, I knew it.
Yep.
He had a very nice singing voice.
He
too.
does.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's got that low.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Scott comes on. I'm like, I've heard this a million times. Pulled out my headphones.
Yes. Well, that's another thing actually.
I hear it all the time.
Regine's heard it. Yeah, I've she
Every performance is the same place.
Regine and I. Yeah, that's the thing. We've been to a few rodeos,
Just a few.
as they say. And actually, even when that performance, like behind the curtain, I didn't have time to even. My plan was to record a brand new performance specifically for the event. There physically weren't enough hours.
Because from
the
10
day.
to 3, you were really busy.
Yes,
What
but it's
about
not
9
just.
o'clock?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not even just like Saturday morning. Like pretty much the entire week last week, my day was consumed with creating stuff for the pageant, and then I'm live streaming at night. And I really just sort of underestimated how long each thing would take. Right? Obviously the opening number was the biggest because it's like a music video in itself. But like even, say the beachwear segment, right? You have. When you're building the segment, you're thinking, okay, we've got to have the picture and then the name and the thing, and then I have to design a look for it and make all the stuff fly in, right? And like, well, yeah, Tyra, you would know. You're an editor yourself. So it's like you once you've built that, then you can kind of replicate it for each person and each category, and you're just changing the titles and stuff. But just designing it and coming up with how you want it to look and making sure it looks right and built like that in itself just took hours. And then rendering the video.
Well, I mean, your performance was great.
Oh yeah, yes, it was. Yeah. So anyway, I was hoping to do a brand new one, but what I ended up doing was taking 2 songs from another performance that I had done I figure most people haven't seen it, so it's
I have.
new for you guys. Yeah, Regine had seen it, but yes, but thank you, Tyra. Yes, thank you. It was
I was very impressed you were able to, get dressed and then go back into a suit after. You know?
rapid changes. Rapid change. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going, and yeah, everything's live. It's all live. It's all live.
Was it like your old condo?
No. It's not that old. We're still in this place. That would be funny. That's the other thing, actually. When I was thinking about what I should pick, I was like, I could pick this one, but like there's like pre-COVID performances here. Like my hair is really short.
But
like,
it's
I feel
not like anyone would know that that's what your condo looks like.
Yeah, I was more thinking more like, did he just get a haircut and then his hair grew back? Because like,
I mean,
really,
some
really...
performers were on stage, so yours is fine.
That's true. That's true. You know, I tried as much, even though it's pre-recorded. I wanted it to kind of have that in the moment feel.
Oh, I do want to ask, sorry. So there was a lot of commotion going on about a specific candidate's talent. What happened to her video? Because all we could see is literally an ear, and literally like this is all you saw in her talent.
Yeah.
What happened? Blame the people in the back.
No. I mean, I'm trying to think if I should.
Clear it up here, because people were on the chat yesterday getting mad at you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing I will say is the talent highlight part. I did not edit that. I did not edit that.
So you blame people in the back.
Well, no, but I'm trying to think if I should say it or not.
If you're not comfortable, you don't. I was just curious because everyone was commenting away.
I think, okay, you know what? I'll keep it. I will keep it. Basically, so what I think happened is, she performed at a large event, so there's a giant audience in front of her, and I think the editing was done in a way so that you can't see all of the faces of the people in the event.
Oh, because you don't have the permission to put their face on the internet.
Yeah, I think that's probably why.
I assume so. I think she did post, she shared that to our chat. So I did see that video beforehand. But yeah, there was, I guess permission from everyone or something.
Yeah, I mean, there is a potential. I guess theoretically, yeah. If anybody sees themselves there, they could come in and say, "Hey, I didn't give you permission to put this online." Yeah. So it could be that concern was around that. Yeah. And also, I will say, the other concern that people were having is, like, the talent stuff that people saw in the broadcast was not what they were judged on. So like, the judges saw the full songs and also, like, unedited, like, you know, cropping out faces or anything like that. So
earbuds.
Yeah, exactly. So they saw the whole thing.
Well, thank you for clarifying, because there's a lot of chat going on, being like, why aren't we seeing her full video? Play it again.
Yeah. It's not fair, stuff like that. Yeah.
And so I'm just feel like, I got fed up at one point. I'm like, the MC's already said, like, leave them alone.
Well, another thing that's another thing that was happening is that my phone, like, all throughout the night was, like, going off. Sometimes being sent by, like, people, why did this happen? Oh, can you change this? Can this happen? Da, 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 da. And, like, I had to just go, I can't respond to any of you right now. That's just not gonna happen. But all in all, pretty fun event. I had a lot of fun. And,
Tyra, with your new reign, sorry, Scott. Like, Scott's gonna keep going, we'll cut him off. Yeah. So Tyra, with your new reign, what are you planning on doing? I know we're still in the pandemic. I'm aware that it's a shorter year. However, prior to that, you were doing a lot of charity work and community service already. What's your plan with your title?
Oh, my plan with my title? So probably being more, I guess, like, with CTC's, like, community, right? So a lot of the time my mom would participate a lot more in a different amount of, like, lives, coming to different events and stuff. And I think probably being now a title winner, right? So with my reign, probably being more engaged with CTC, community there, probably doing a bit more more charity work, especially going out with like if ever in the future like Jennifer decides to like host some sort of like I guess because I think she's done like choirs in the past as well. Like she's done like Christmas events. We've gone to like different festivals and stuff. So like hopefully when things start to open up, that will also be available. But yeah, I'm really excited to be part of like the group a little bit more because I see my mom doing it a lot and like I just like I kind of want to be part of that. Yeah, she'd have a lot of fun. And talking to everyone and stuff like that.
Also, hang on. Somebody just said
I
there's
saw
some voice echo. Let me see. Let me just double check. Is it better now? I think it might be better now. I don't hear anything. Although, actually, looking at it, I think I saw what the source was. Great, people. Another audio issue, but no, I think we're fine. They could hear us, but I think there might have been an echo happening. Thank you, Insanity. I think it's fixed now. You guys can let me know in the chat.
Oh, for you.
Sorry? You can't hear me?
I can't hear you on my end. I don't know why.
Oh,
okay, wait.
I hear you.
Scott.
I hear you now.
Oh, there
I
you
hear
go.
you now. I was like, oh my god, here we go again.
All right. It's happening again. No. Okay, cool. I think we'll probably... Well, it's been how long? It's been an hour and a half. That's pretty good. In fact, actually, so Regine, you were just asking her about what she wants to do with her reign. I mean, I almost want to like ask you to be, I don't know, involved in the behind the scenes parts of like the events and things.
I mean, Scott is head of Top Choice at the moment, so there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Tyra, good luck. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine like if we have to do like another live virtual event, I would be like,
you don't
maybe we
have
should.
to.
That's true. Maybe we won't have to, but it would
We're
be.
not
I
going
would
to put
imagine,
it out in the world that.
Yeah.
Listen.
Virtual events forever. I mean, the thing is, will there still be a place for virtual events? Like, you think people will still want to do things like this even after things have opened up again?
Okay. Well, let me ask you, Scott. Do you see the sit down ever being back in studio or virtual?
I mean, I want to go back in studio. I want to go back in studio.
Well, there's your answer.
It's a different feeling as well.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, the sit down is a little different because it's, even though it's in person, like, because it's still being broadcast, it's still a live event. So it's still a lot of the stuff that we'd be doing is the same, except it's a better personal connection when we're all in the same room. You know what I mean? So that could be, you know, so yeah, I mean, I guess there'll still be a place for it. It'll just be different. Like, will you still, here's the thing, right? We did the Canada's Top Choice pageant live in person. But I mean, like, a lot of the big pageants are broadcast as well, right? Like, people are used to watching, like, what are they, Miss Universe and all those things, like, televised on TV. So who knows? I mean, maybe in the future there could be like we do it live in a theater, but we're also streaming it as well. I mean, that could be cool.
I mean, I know there are a lot of pageants that do just live stream. Like Galaxy Canada was live, but they had it live streamed online. So anything is possible.
It's always a place for it. There you go. There's lots of Tyra, you're going to have lots of opportunities. Yep.
Here we go. Day one, already booked.
That's already starting.
It's already starting. I think we should probably start to wrap up. What do you guys think? This was a good chat. Did everybody have fun?
Yes. A lot of fun.
Great. Before we leave, Tyra, if there's any social media you want to plug or people can follow you if you'd like, it's up to you.
Yes, so right now I have Instagram, so you can find me on Instagram at Tyra, no capitals, 2 underscores, and then a capital Z.
Cool. All right, and I will add that to the description down below, so you guys can find her there. And Regine, where can people find you?
You guys can find me here on YouTube every Monday and Wednesday. This week I actually have a special edition type thing going on, so make sure you follow me on YouTube for the pageant sit down, as well as on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at It's Regine Alaina. And of course, if you'd like to continue my pageant journey, internationals are in 6 months or less. Hopefully the world opens up by then, but you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Ms. MS Galaxy Canada. Where can people find you, Scott?
You can find me right here where you're watching this very video. YouTube.com/Scott Dion Brown, everybody. We are so close.
Yeah,
2,000
I
subscribers.
saw that. You're at like 1.99K.
Yeah. 12-hour stream at 2,000 subs, everybody. Will the audio cut out?
Who knows?
Tune in to find out.
You'll call Tyra
YouTube.com/Scott
for
Dion
help.
Brown. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We'll have her behind the scenes. You can also find me right there on Twitter and Instagram, Scott Dion Brown. You can also find me on TikTok, Scott Dion Brown Official. But YouTube is the best place. Live streaming 5 nights a week, Monday to Fridays. Lots of video games. Having a good time with that. Obviously, we do the sit down every Sunday. And we just have a grand old time on this channel. You play video games at all, Tyra?
I do actually.
Oh, nice. What do you play? What are you into?
Oh, more console games. I'm not super into it, but I'll try to play more console games. I was playing recently. I got like a Game Pass, which expires by the end of the month, so I have to finish any games that I was playing. But I was playing Nier. There was I was also playing some PC games, but I don't own an actual like PC that can run. Doesn't have all that I can run. I just have my laptop, so it's just smaller games. But yeah.
Do you play Among Us? Because Scott streams it every Thursday.
I used to. I played it for a bit when it was very new, and then I stopped playing it, and that's when it started like getting on my Instagram feed, and everyone was talking about it. I'm like, oh. By that
You're like,
time,
I was there before it.
I was there before, okay? And now but like, yeah, I played it for a bit with a lot of friends, and then it started kind of getting like a little repetitive, so I was just stop playing.
Yeah, it's starting to drop off. I've been streaming it. Like, we actually just streamed it on Thursday, and it's nice on my live streams. We've got a couple core group of kids who keep showing up, so we actually have a pretty cool time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the same thing. Is they're coming out with a new map. I don't know if you've heard of the airship map.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it's probably going to kick up again, maybe like popularity again, because I'm curious. Apparently, this airship map, not only that, it's bigger. It fits more. Like, you actually have more players in a game.
Yeah, I think also there was like there's more floors or something.
Yeah.
There was like different rooms, right? So that's gonna be pretty cool. So probably the popularity will go back up while people are trying, like checking it out and stuff like that. And then I'll probably check it out as well.
Nice.
When it comes out.
Well, yeah. I mean, in fact, maybe when it comes out, I don't know if you're interested. If you want to come on it for an Among Us live stream one time, you can come anytime you like.
Sure.
We'll message afterwards and figure that out. But ladies and gentlemen, this was a very fun chat. I enjoyed this very much. I'm very tired. I can't go back to sleep, actually. I actually
The
have to go
adrenaline went.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe like the coffee. That's the thing. I was like at a peak at about like, and then I've been slowly like settling in.
Caffeine's worn off.
Yes, exactly. I'll have to have another one. I actually have to go do a quick bit of videography today. And then my 2 weeks of busyness will be done. So much to do.
Will it though?
I'm planning to really just rest tomorrow. Monday is just going to be a rest day to recover from the last 2 weeks of craziness.
So with that being said, his short film will be done March 2022.
Hopefully. That's the thing. I just hope we can get whatever. You know what? I can't be mad for being busy, because like other stuff pops up, and that's just the way it goes. So it's coming. It's coming, people, and it'll be worth it. Believe me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. Make sure you boop the like button if you enjoyed this video, and share it and subscribe and all that stuff. Make sure you follow Regine. Tune into the Pageant to Sit Down Mondays and Wednesdays on her channel. Subscribe to her YouTube channel, and make sure you follow newly crowned Miss Teen Canada's Top Choice 2020, Tyra, on Instagram. And this is great. Any final thoughts? Any final words, anybody?
But just basically, thank you so much for having me. It's exciting to be back, and obviously I've missed both of you. I haven't talked to you in a
I
while,
know,
especially
it's been so
Regine.
long.
It's been so long, so
Yep.
thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun. It was good catching up.
It was awesome. Well,
Chat, yeah.
Tyra, congratulations again on your new title and your new
you.
reign. I'm excited to see where you go with this new journey. And yes, it's so great to catch up with you. I miss you. I haven't seen you since September of 2019. So I'm glad to virtually catch up with you. I still have the necklace you gave me, I promise. It's still it's still with all my jewelry. And
Yay.
hopefully I'll get to see you at some point of your reign with your new crown and sash.
And there it is.
Scott's
Ladies and
jealous.
gentlemen.
He wants a necklace.
He wants a crown.
I want a crown.
No
That's what I
crown.
want.
I've actually seen some very cool crowns for male pageants. They
Don't
actually
tell him
look really
that.
cool.
Don't
So they
I'm
do
sorry.
exist.
They
They
do
do
exist.
exist.
No, they don't, Scott. No, they don't.
Because like they, I'm thinking of like the kind of crowns that kings would wear. They're like very big,
Yeah.
right? And like,
It depends on where you're at. Some of them look a little bit more like the tiara, and I'm like, but I've seen like one recently that was more like a king's crown, or like more like
Yeah.
a prince kind of a crown. So it was a little bit smaller, and
Uh-huh.
it had like ruby kind of jewel look, right? Which looked
Scott,
really
you need to be a
nice.
prince or a king. I'm sorry, you're none of that.
I need one. Of, I need
You
one
know
of
what?
those.
Go to Burger King and get one of the paper crowns.
It's not the same.
You
I
just
want
said
one
you wanted
made
a
for me.
crown, so there you go.
Yeah, no, I want it to be shiny for my reign.
Get a custom
I'm-
one.
Yeah, I'm still
to-
the reigning Mr. Philippines,
Go
right?
buy one on Wish and you'll get it in a few months.
And I'll just print Mr. Philippines on it forever.
Yes.
I'll have to get, yeah.
I'll find one for you. It'll be
Yeah,
here in time
crowns.
for your birthday. There you go.
I'm tired of this world of no crowns being given for, although, well, Tyra just said they do exist. So I guess I can't complain anymore. They exist. Anyways, everybody, thank you all for being here.
Mhm.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.